Hi, and welcome to another episode of I'm Not Hiding Here in My House while the coronavirus dies
In
in
5D.
5D. Alright, so I'm all fuckered today because all our graphics were all late. Ah! So,
I thought it was because of the coronavirus.
shh. Actually, no. I will say that thus far, all jokes aside, and that stuff gets weird real fast, right? When you're right in the thick of it. But so far, no one I know has had any issues. Although I also haven't been out very much.
I mean, I've been to work and stuff, but that's about it.
So has it affected sales and just people in?
It's kind of been slower.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering. Because there's folks that work in the tech industry and like Bonsai up in Washington, and it's very easy for us to say like whatever will work from home, but if the sales start going down, then they're gonna schedule less people, and that could affect people and their hours and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely is a thing. There's definitely less people in the store most of the time because people's on like panic of this and everything.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I'm still trucking.
That's cool. Well, as long as it's not completely all bad. But you know what? I finally beat Pokemon Sword and Shield,
Oh
and
yeah, how
by
was
beat
that?
I mean the story.
Okay,
Well, I have Shield, not Sword. No, I have Sword, not Shield. Anyways, um, it was weird. It felt like it had elements that would make sense in an MMO, but not in a normal game. Single player game.
okay,
So like, the story ends and then it doesn't.
okay.
Obviously, spoilers from here on out for this game. If
I
you
mean, it's
haven't.
been out long enough.
So you find out who the bad guy is, right? And it was Bonsai said it wasn't who he wasn't expecting that person to be the bad guy, but I kind of knew it all along. He was too nice and too coiffed, and it was just like they're trying to do the switcheroo. Or maybe I'm just jaded at this point. But anyways, they reveal who the bad guy is, and they do it right before you're about to win the champion title, right? So
Okay,
that fight gets interrupted. So then
all
you
right,
go off and you fight the baddie and you catch a legendary Pokemon. And the weird part though is that it's not the legendary Pokemon that is the titular legendary Pokemon that represents each of the games.
okay.
Yeah, it's just this other one that looks like a he looks like what a I don't know. He looks like what reboot would would make a Pokemon be like. He's like this virtual dragon thing. He's made out of energy, I think, or some shit. It's just really weird.
What the fuck?
And his name is Eternatus or Eternatus.
Eternatus?
Eternatus, however you want to fucking say it, but he's got a weird ass name and it just didn't fit. So and that's it. You save the day, and then finally you get your grudge match with the existing champion, and well, you beat the living tar out of him. If you're any good at it, I'm not even particularly good at the whole stat thing, and it wasn't. It was easy,
Right.
but whatever. I
It's
beat him.
designed for young kids.
Yeah, sure, but it was even like I remember trying to get through the Elite Four when I was a kid, right? I got my ass kicked the first time I tried. I had to go back and grind more.
I didn't. I had level 100 Pokemon by the time I hit the Elite Four.
Then you were already doing the grinding.
I was already power gaming.
Yeah, that's that's the kind of thing. But anyways, all I'm saying was it was a little too easy. But wait, that's not the end of the fucking storyline game. So what happened was these two random dudes show up claiming to be the descendants of the old kings of the region.
Okay.
Yeah, and like, cause there's supposed to be this lore about the region and these legendary Pokemon that protected it. That whatever. It just so these dudes show up and they just start causing havoc, which basically you go into um. It's not even a mini game. You just have to fly to the different gyms and do these battles. But it's yeah, it's just not that hard, and it's just not that interesting, right? Like maybe if there were some more dungeony aspects of it, like because some of the gyms, remember, they had that little puzzle before.
Yeah.
But for that one, no, you just show up and they tell you, "Oh, look, you're the champion and shit. What's up? Hey, these dudes are weird, and now the Pokemons are acting like fucking assholes. Legit. Um, so it's just a Pokemon that's Dynamax and just attacking it. So you beat it. Some of them are like imitation raids, and some of them are just like one-on-ones. And then
Okay.
that takes up some more fucking time. And then you end with that. You beat those dudes. You foil their plan, and they admit that they were wrong. And then you get to fight the titular legendary. And then you catch the titular legendary. And then the game goes, cool. Now keep trying to complete your Pokedex. Okay, thanks, bye.
I mean, that was my problem with the game is it didn't capture me. I didn't feel like I was like into this real world or anything. I didn't really feel like anything about it. It was just me breeding Pokemon to fight, and that was it. And I was just like, this is kind of lame.
It just felt really easy. Like I played like Y. I think it was the one I had. I didn't have X. I had Y. So I played Y. And even then, the storyline was a little bit more engaging.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
I had X and Y, and I actually liked it.
Yeah, no, I mean this game. I didn't hate Sword. I enjoyed the dick out of it in a lot of ways, but it was too easy. Like a lot of, and I both love and hate this because I hate having to grind too much. But you found evolutions of Pokemon in this just out in the wild.
Hmm.
Like that is fucking rare. Like every so often in the other games, you'll find like the second Evo, but you never find the ultimate Evo. Over here, motherfuckers just standing there.
Yeah, no, and
Arr.
that part was cool, but like, I don't know. I just, like I said, I did the first three dungeons or whatever, got the first three badges, and then I just was like, I don't want to be Pokemaster. I don't care about
Yeah,
this anymore, and I
I
just
don't care
never,
anymore.
I just stopped, and I haven't gone back to it at all.
Fair enough. So, speaking of going back, there's a game that I just started today. I haven't even gone to shoot one motherfucker because my ass was like, I don't remember what I did. Shit, I'm gonna have to play the game before it. So, Deus Ex, was it Mankind Divided?
Okay, yeah.
So, any second now, I'm poised to start it because I beat the living dog shit about of Human Revolution and I loved it. And then Divided came out like it was broken, so like I purchased it because I wanted to play, but I was like, I'm gonna wait till they fix all this bullshit because that's Square Enix does that shit all the
Mhm.
time. And then I totally fucking forgot about it, and I was looking through my list because I'm kind of coming down off of my Pokemon hype. I want to try something where maybe I shoot things and
I
switch it up
actually
a
didn't
little bit.
finish the Mankind Divided or whatever it is. I finished the other Deus Ex one, like the first one, and
Human
then
Revolution.
yeah,
Yeah,
by Square Enix, I should say, the first one by Square Enix, not the first Deus Ex game.
yeah, of course,
Um,
of course. That's we're talking about classics right there.
yeah, and like I just was like playing it for a bunch, and then I stopped. So maybe I will go back to that also and finish it up. I know I had a bunch of cybernetics and stuff and was doing something. I just don't exactly remember um, what all I was doing because I've been swept into other games like Red Dead Redemption 2, and I just finished up Fear, which I'm working on getting trying to get a video review up for us.
Yeah.
Um, and then I just picked up Vulcan Lords of Mayhem.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So, is it Vulcan or
I,
Wolshen?
I don't know. I can never tell. I think it's Vulcan.
Okay.
I just keep saying Vulcan because it just sounds better to me, I guess. I think it's Wolshan Lords of Mayhem.
Like vessels, you mean?
Yeah, like nuclear vessels, exactly.
Nuclear vessels. All right. Sorry,
Um,
go on.
actually, I should say my buddy Squid got it for me, and I think it was. I'm going to take it as a birthday gift because my birthday is coming up.
Nice.
But we were playing some of it last night, and I have to say I'm really enjoying it.
Okay.
Like it's very much a Diablo-esque game as far as like the mechanics and stuff, right? You
Yeah.
know, but it also reminds me of like Warhammer 40K because like everyone just has ridiculous shoulder pads and like armor that has like the setting sun behind them and stuff, right? You know, and they're
Yeah.
all like, "Yes, we're gonna go to Operation Dawnbane or whatever," right? You know, some stupid fucking name. Um, and like the story of it, at least as far as this first look, is that you're part of this group. It's like, you know, they're fighters or whatever. They're like these warriors. I don't know what they're fighting yet, but anyway, they're fighting for the Imperium, pretty much, and they're fighting against, I guess, some kind of rebellion or something like that. And in the middle of like getting flanked, you go up to the flankers to try to like take out the archers and stuff, and a demon appears and starts wrecking you. And while you're getting wrecked, something empowers you, and you're able to fight it for a minute, and then it like goes dormant again and like starts to beat you again. Then you like fall off the cliff, and now the actual game has begun because that's just like the prologue. Um,
Dude,
so you're
I am so excited about this fucking game that I'm literally starting the install as we are fucking talking.
yeah, it's fun. I don't know how many players can play cooperative. I was just playing with Squid, and it just feels really familiar as far as the combat, but at the same time, like you so you have three major weapons you start out with, or you can start out with.
Mm-hmm.
I managed to make a dude that kind of looked like me, so I was like, I'm gonna go warrior based. So I went all melee. There's melee, ranged, and then there's mage. However, at any time you can start learning skills and progressing in the other classes if you want. And the skill tree is huge. It's like Path of Exile. I think we're about level 7, or I was level 7 by last night. I'm sure he's played a bunch more, so he's probably way higher than me. And I started really liking my combo. And that's where I was like, this is fun. Like, I am really enjoying just going into combat and murdering all these things. Right?
Yeah.
And the story is decent. It's I wouldn't say it's like groundbreaking by any means, but it doesn't have to be. It's just fun and kind of like fantasy role playing.
So it is fantasy and it is fun. It isn't. Is it like? Obviously, the armor makes me think Warhammer. There's no like space in it, right? This is just high fantasy.
It's just high fantasy. Yeah, it's no space. It just reminded me a lot of like Warhammer from the demeanor of the people, right? Because they're like they go talk to the Inquisitor and stuff, right? You know, and hey, how can I not think Warhammer?
Yeah.
When you start talking about the Inquisitor and you have giant shoulder pads, and like even one of the guys, like he kind of sounded like there was like a almost Space Marine voice to it, because they have magic, but they also have like steampunk pistols and snipers and stuff.
Oh, okay, so it's okay.
It's still high fantasy. It just they also have some incorporation of like techno magic.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I've so far only found pistols, and I haven't ever. I was thinking about maybe making a ranged character to just use pistols for fun.
Which is probably what I would go.
Probably, I figured you would.
That's my go-to ranged.
But it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. It's worth the hype. It's worth everybody that's talking about, oh, it's like Diablo. It's this is the new Diablo. Like, that's really fun. I'm like, yeah, it is. It is really fun. It is kind of like Diablo. I'm looking forward to playing more of it. So I'll probably end up having more of a review. But so far, it's a solid game. It's like an 8 out of 10 Diablo-esque game.
I'm gonna install it today as well and fucking hit it up, because so I got on board with this game because I kickstarted it.
Right.
I kickstarted this game when it was under a different title. It was called Umbra.
Okay.
I don't know why they ended up changing the name, but it was funny enough. A couple days ago, I saw Walsh and Lords of Mayhem. I'm like, wait, I've been getting those Kickstarter alerts, and I go, oh shit, I heard it was delayed, and it had been, but it was delayed to this year, and it just launched like February.
Right.
So I was like, holy shit, let me jump on. And I try to go in and get my account, and it's like, you don't have an account. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I went through all my email. I couldn't find it. I actually sent an email to their support. And I just got my key as we were talking right here. So
Nice.
I'm like, all right. So I'm gonna unlock it there. I know I had some Kickstarter bonuses. I don't even remember what they are, but I'm gonna take a look at that shit.
Definitely. And we could honestly probably play some tomorrow or something if you want to.
Yeah, for sure. If the other guys got it, how many players is it?
I don't know. I think it's like up to 3.
Okay, fair enough. Because wait, Diablo's 4, right? You can do 4 in Diablo, or is it all?
No, Diablo's 3.
Okay.
It might be 4 on this one.
No, I'm still down. So before this stream, we were talking about a movie that you actually went to, and I'm actually interested because I've heard that it's good, but it got such shit reviews, and people were all mad about it. So you went to see Birds of Prey, right?
I did see Birds of Prey finally. It's probably on its way out, obviously, because it's been out for a while.
Has it? I thought it was only been out for like 2 weeks. Is that all it takes now?
I don't know. It was in the back theaters when I went to go see it, so I know it's on its way out, at least from my theater.
Okay, fair enough.
It's probably about 2 weeks because there's a lot of things that rotate in, right? Unless they're a really big release like the Avengers or Star Wars or something. But anyway, so Birds of Prey, I have to say, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun movie.
Birds of Prey, I have to say.
Yeah. The hand-to-hand fight scenes I feel are really good.
Okay.
It's just when it gets to some of the gunplay, like when I say gunplay, it's like none of the female leads or anything use guns really. It gets to be kind of almost wonky because they're still trying to keep their like rating, but they still had some like explosions and like death scenes and stuff like that, which were really fun. The story is decent. I feel that all the main characters were really tied well into the story and what they were doing and how the story unfolds and everything. I would honestly recommend it to people. I think it's a lot of fun.
Okay. So where would you rate it from Suicide Squad to here?
It's definitely better than Suicide Squad.
Okay. Good.
At least in my opinion. That being said, I didn't mind Suicide Squad. I didn't think it was the best movie ever, but it wasn't like terrible either. It wasn't like Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice bad.
Martha.
Yeah. Should we just become best friends?
Oh my god. That's the first time. I'm sure there's a shit ton of videos and memes about it, but that just made sense in my head. Did we just become best friends?
The moment I saw it, and like they realized that their mother's name was both Martha, I was like, did they just become best friends? Like, is this literally how this movie's gonna go? And it did. And I gotta say, from that point, I was like, okay, all right. You can't get any worse than this, so I'm just gonna keep going with it. It's fine.
Okay.
God, that movie sucks so bad. But it's definitely better than that. It's definitely better than Suicide Squad. Honestly, I don't know why it got so much hate, except for I think they changed the name, right? Is that what it was about?
So what ended up happening? Yeah. So it was I forget what it was before. It was, but it's supposed to be Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. But I think on the marquee it was just Birds of Prey, so nobody fucking knew what it was about. Like, cause it's not a very well-known superhero team, right? Even for DC fans. So like, everybody saw Birds of Prey, nobody knew what it was about, so they changed it. Where I think they changed the Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey or something like that.
Because the title when I saw it was Birds of Prey, the amalgamation or whatever of Harley Quinn or whatever it was.
Yeah, and that's what it ended up at. Sorry, I think that was the original,
Okay.
but I don't understand what people were mad about. I mean, they were mad about because it's funny. This is one of those movies where one side is saying, you know what, it didn't go well because people just weren't that interested or because the marketing sucked, and then the other side saying, no, it didn't do well because nerds don't like female-led movies. And I keep hearing it's good, so I'm actually interested in seeing it. Am I going to go to the movie theater at this one? Probably not. I'll wait till it's out on Amazon or
I
something
mean, I
like
could
that.
kind of see why, like, they would say that it's because nerds don't like female leads, because that is a very big thing, right? There's a lot of people that are very against kind of, I guess, female leads. I don't know. I personally don't mind whatever, right? But I could see where somebody would get mad about it and be like, hey, feminist propaganda left wing, like in this day and age, I could definitely see some fucking troll hating that.
Yeah, but like I would like to think that there are more of us than there are of them, right? Like the vocal minority the silent minority. In these cases, I like to think it is more than the fucking vocal minority who are the ones being assholes and just screaming about it. Um, so then it would show in ticket sales and in reviews and stuff, right? Because we outnumber them. And the tricky part is when you say something like that, like nerds don't like female led movies. I think I don't know. In my case, I don't really care. It's just, are you doing it because that's what the story is calling for? Tell me a good story. Give me a good actress. Let's do it. Right? But are you doing it because it's checking the box? Like if you do a female led story and then don't do it well, there's it's so much worse because like it just comes off as pandery. For this
Yeah.
film, I just really didn't like Suicide Squad. So I was like, I don't know if I'm coming out for this one. Like Shazam was great, but this is from the same like, storyline and vein that got Jared Leto as the Joker, which was terrible.
They didn't show the Joker, by the way.
Oh, nice. Yeah, of
They
course
didn't,
you're not.
they didn't show him at all. So he wasn't even like they had a like kind of shadow of him at one point
Yeah.
at the very beginning because they have this like cartoon opening. But then after that, there's no Joker in it.
Yeah, dude, can we just say that Leto was bad as the Joker? Like, not knocking any of his other performances, but as the Joker, he was just bad.
Well, I don't think most people even consider him, right? Like I don't know. Everybody keeps forgetting about him as the Joker. That's how bad he was.
Well, it's one of those things where like Nicholson's the classic Joker that a lot of people think about, but even Nicholson wasn't really like the Joker. He was his own version, and people
Mhm.
still count that way more than they count Leto.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
And
I didn't really like him as a Joker, but I think it was also more the aesthetic too. Like
nobody liked Cholo Joker.
nobody liked Cholo Joker. What sucked though is that like before I went into that movie, I probably wouldn't have drawn that conclusion right away had Bonsai not said Cholo Joker at the beginning.
Well, no, the wife beater and the krills and the
Right, but I wasn't even thinking about that when I saw the trailer.
okay.
Right, he
I
had mentioned
was.
it, and then I went to see it, and I just couldn't get that out of my mind.
That's
I was like,
fantastic because
he is Cholo Joker.
yeah, it was
This is
Cholo Joker. Oh, speaking of now that we're also talking about the Batman franchise here, did you see the reveal of the new Batsuit and the new Batmobile?
no.
Dude, I'm gonna bring up a picture of this because I think it's important. Let me see here. So they did a reveal, and you know who's playing the new Batman, right?
No.
Robert
Forget.
Pattinson.
What does he do? I think I
Robert
probably
Pattinson was in Harry Potter. He was also the titular person in. Well, I guess he wasn't the titular. He was the co-star in all the Twilight movies. He was Sparkly Vampire Boy.
See, I never watched the Twilight movies.
Did you watch the Harry Potter movies?
Somewhat.
He was. Did you watch the Goblet of Fire specifically?
I don't remember. I remember seeing it, but I don't remember the actual movie.
Okay, fair enough. Well, he's the kid that gets killed in that one.
Okay, I'll pretend like I know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't actually
that's
remember.
fine. Oh, that's fine. So this is yeah. Check this out. So I'm gonna put up a couple of pictures. So it'll show up when are you watching the YouTube stream?
I am.
Okay, so it'll show up in a couple seconds here, and I'm gonna put up more than one picture, and then let me know when you see the first one, and then I'll put up the second one.
Still Birds of Prey.
Huh. Processing.
Processing. Enhance.
Oh man. Okay.
Enhance.
Cool.
There we go. Okay.
So
That's the
All right.
first picture.
That's
All
the
right, that's
first
the Batmobile.
picture. Yep. That's the Batmobile. Here's another angle of the Batmobile, and then I'm just gonna flash that for a couple of seconds, and then I'm gonna flash this one that shows all three of them, and then I will bring up a picture of Robert Patterson. I guess this
Waiting
is
for it to change on here, but I'm guessing it's more of like a muscle car look from the like back end of it.
yeah. That's kind of what people are making fun of
Okay.
it for.
It can't. Okay. All right. I don't know. I kind of like that though.
So now here's the thing. Is it me or does it just look like a Hot Wheels car that got away from them?
Yeah, I guess I could say that it looks like a Hot Wheels car. It definitely has like Fast and Furious vibes and like oh, what was the other one I was just thinking of?
Definitely Fast and the Furious for
Oh,
sure.
Supernatural.
Supernatural. Yeah, a little bit of that. I could see that because of the muscle car. But yeah, it just looks like Batman's down on his luck. And this is Robert Patterson that I just put up.
Okay,
That's
so
the
remember that's
actor.
changed, but I don't know. I kind of like the design. Okay, all right. I know who he is now.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We can stop showing that.
Yeah. I don't know. I like muscle cars, and I think Batman being in a more kind of like toned down Batmobile is cool.
The only question that it brings for me is that at which point in his life is Batman right now, right? Because the last Batman we saw was very definitely advanced in age, had been around for a while. Is this Batman like year 3, year 4 Batman? Right? Like, is this the weird in between years?
Maybe. I don't know. I'd like to think there's multiple Batmans running around right now.
Oh,
Like,
so is that your theory for this film?
yeah, sure. We'll go with that. It's the theory. And my theory is that there's multiple Batmans. So they're all kind of like low tech, but they're also very like advanced tech, right? Because they have the actual Batman funding them. Right?
Okay, so something like isn't it the Outsiders? Is
I don't know. I don't know DC lore at all.
So clearly you're just shooting in the dark here.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So that's my take on it. They just don't ever use guns. Unless they do use guns, then it's gonna be rad.
Yeah, the guns are gonna come out of the car. You do realize his whole "I don't use guns" went out with the last movie, right? His
Did
car at the front of it had machine guns, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people got mowed down. They
They were
didn't
just firing blanks.
Sure, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Honestly,
Okay.
I don't know why Batman doesn't use guns. I just don't see why he doesn't. I think it's stupid for him to be like, "Well, my mom and dad died by a gun, so I'll never use guns."
No,
right?
actually, I believe it's more that he doesn't kill is his rule. That's like his one rule. I
You
don't
can still
think
shoot a motherfucker in the leg.
he could, but I think he prefers to throw a batarang or some
Oh
sort
yeah,
of
let me
other
throw
trickery
this
device.
sharp, pointy object at you instead.
I mean, to be fair though, it's better than, hey, let me shoot this not as sharp, but supersonic object at you.
I don't know. I just want Batman to be like the Terminator from T2, where he's just like shooting people in the legs and arms, right?
Yeah.
And just is like they'll live.
Yeah, because he's
I
not
think
allowed to kill anybody.
he doesn't kill anybody. He just really fucking maims them.
Yeah. Not that. Not that.
Can't do a life of crime if you're in a wheelchair.
Well, that's not true. Look at Oracle. She got pretty far.
I guess. I was just saying. The average criminal.
The average criminal, that's true. That's true. All right, so look, here's my take on at least on Robert Pattinson. I don't hate everything that he's been in. I don't like the Twilight series, but it wasn't made for me. If any
Okay.
of these films and books were not made for me.
Are you sure, Eduardo?
That's
Are you sure that
serious right
that
there.
wasn't made for you?
Like, yes. Like I am closer to saying that maybe like 50 Shades of Grey was made for me. Like I could make that stretch. Huh?
50 Shades of Grey is not a good BDSM book.
Which is why I can make that stretch, because I don't think I'd be into the real stuff.
No, but it's very different. Like that is very like.
Okay,
so
full
50
disclosure,
Shades-
I never read 50 Shades of Grey.
Neither have I. I just know all about it. It's a very poor example of a BDSM like relationship. It's what not to be.
Oh, you know what? Hey, we're only 30 minutes in, so fucking enlighten us, baby. This is the one
God.
that's gonna get us kicked off of YouTube. Let's do it.
I don't think
Bonsai's
so. I
not
don't
here
think
to
it will.
control us.
So 50 Shades of Grey is basically about a narcissist and a fucking person that's into it. He's very controlling, very demanding, and very much just about him while she is just like out to serve him. And that's not exactly what BDSM is, or even sadomasochism. There's a thing called aftercare when it comes to BDSM, and like it's very much an important part of that. Like, sure, you can be pushed to the brink with being whipped, beaten, whatever, right? Choked out, whatever.
Cattle prods, all that stuff.
Yeah, like if afterwards it's not carrying over into like an abusive kind of relationship. And so like, yes, maybe you even enjoy it sexually, or you do enjoy it sexually, but at the same time, knowing that the person actually also still cares about you and is just doing it because you both get off kind of thing is really what that kind of boils down to. Whereas like this is none of that. This is all about him and what he wants and his dominating this person.
So question, short of and real question, because obviously I know very little about the intricacies of it, but is there a type of personality that outside of just being an outright sociopath, that is the type of relationship they would have, like almost a weird codependence, right?
Well, I mean, that's still an abusive thing. That means you have to have a narcissist with that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no.
So there wouldn't be a healthy version of that.
The healthy version would be like, being dominant while they're being submissive, or even having what's called a power exchange, which maybe one of you is dominant and then the other one's submissive, and then you like switch roles. And then like not just imposing that will upon that person constantly throughout daily life. Because that's really what happens, right? Like he almost he does brainwash her to a point. Because it's no longer about just the sexual stuff. It's about the whole life. It's about having like this really subservient kind of person.
Okay. That's fair. Again, I know nothing about it, but I would still say I'm closer to that than I am the Twilight series.
Okay, sure. I'll give you that much.
Okay. But
Into not sparkly vampires, but into like hardcore, not real BDSM smut. Okay.
well, a lot of the stuff in the sparkly vampire movies and books were also very unhealthy relationship things too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It was really weird. Outside looking in, right? It feels like what a teenage girl would think a successful relationship was, which is probably why it hit home with people that were teenage women or
Right.
young adults, I would say, because I did a couple coworkers who were super into it that were older and whatnot. However,
Well, so I watched the first one with my niece, and the only thing that I could really get out of it, because I was like watching, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is ridiculous." And she's like, "But all the boys are super hot." And I was like, "All right, sure. I mean, okay." And that was it.
So I've seen a couple of them, but I don't remember them. The
Because
first
they're
one,
not good.
well, the first one that I saw because I got, well, actually technically the whole time, every time I saw it because I was bribed. But the first time I was bribed, and this is kind of a long story, so hold on. So I used to be in the military, and then I used to, once I got out, mostly I was doing the weekend thing. Anyways, one weekend I am sitting about to be released to go home, and then I get a call from my buddy. He's like, "Hey, my girlfriend and her friend want to go watch this movie," and it was one of the Twilights. I don't actually remember which one. There were so many of them, and I was like, "Why? Why would I do that?" One is I met the friend and she wasn't attractive, so I just wasn't interested. I know it makes it sound like a dick, but it was a terrible movie, and people that I didn't enjoy. Well, two people, one person that I didn't enjoy spending time with, because at that point I really didn't know his girlfriend. She's a lovely lady. But anyways, so he goes, "Okay, well, I'll buy all the booze," and I was like, "Done. We're doing this." And ultimately that's where he fucked up, because not so much nowadays, but back then that was at the peak of my alcoholic fucking, not alcoholic, but like my alcohol tolerance days.
Hmm.
So I show up to, I believe it's the Cheesecake Factory where they were eating. And I walk in and they're already kind of finishing up. They've already had their main course. Unfortunately, I was a couple cities over and it took me a while to get there. And they were like, "Well, you have to catch up." And I was like, "Okay, done. We can do this." So I went to the bar and I asked them for a drink. I forget. I've always drank early drinks, so it was something. It was probably a Washington apple or whatever girly drink of the week I was rocking that week. And they had them in the big ones, the Hoggles, and I asked for two of them. And
Okay.
they said, "We can't serve you two. You have to finish one, and then we'll give you another one." And I was like, "Okay, done." So I chugged it. And then they said, "Okay, sir, we're going to make you another one, but you actually have to walk away from the bar." And I was like, "Okay." So I took fucking 2 steps back, turned around, and I chugged it. And then I came back for a third. And after the third, they were getting ready to go. I paid, and my buddy brought 2 water bottles of vodka, a water bottle of tequila. No, sorry, 2 water bottles of vodka, a water bottle of orange juice, and he had a bottle of tequila. And mind you, I was 19 or 20 at this point.
Okay.
Because I was old enough to. This was after my deployment, so I was old enough to get in the army, go to another country and fight and shit. But I still wasn't old enough to legally drink. So,
Right.
No shit. That can't be. I must have been. No. Anyways, look, I was drunk as fuck. It was definitely after I was 21, because how else was I ordering from the bar? Yeah, no. Okay, so I was at least 21. I just drunk off my ass is what it was. Anyways, long story short, we're in the movie theater. I have finished the bottle of vodka, and now I'm on the bottle of tequila. I went to reach for the bottle of tequila, and mind you, this had been after so many, like, Um, just rude comments, right?
Uh huh.
Stuff would come on, I'd be yelling at it, calling just all kinds of ruckus. But I reach for the bottle of tequila, and it falls, and you hear dink, drrrr, dink, drrrr, dink. And it just happened to start at a very quiet time in the movie when they were being extra romantic. And it was amazingly awful. I was never asked back again
Oh,
to
good.
hang out with his girlfriend and the friend. I was absolutely embarrassing. I had a great time.
Right.
Yeah, it was a good time. I don't remember how that evening ended. I just remember that my buddy Alex, shout out, yeah, did not invite me back to hang out with his girlfriend or his girlfriend and her friend.
Makes sense. Makes sense. But you didn't want to be there really anyways. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
No, I was bribed. And so that was the first Twilight movie. The rest of the Twilight movies I saw with an ex-girlfriend of mine who, during the watching of the movies, would go about and do very, very naughty things to me. So I don't remember watching those either because I wasn't paying attention.
That's okay. That seems like a good time though.
Yeah, no, it was great. But yeah, that was how I watched the rest of them, which is why I don't remember them either. But this was such look. You could tell that I've partaken tonight because I just went off on a fucking tangent. The whole point is Robert Pattinson is not that bad of an actor. Twilight not counted, and he's the new Batman. And I'm reserving my goddamn judgment because Heath Ledger showed me that I'm a piece of shit sometimes when I make calls about casting choices. That was the
Why
whole
did
point.
you not like Heath Ledger as the Joker?
So I've always loved Heath Ledger as an actor. I loved him in Knight's Tale. I loved him in The Order. 10 Things I Hate About You. I still watch. I watched it the other day with my wife. It was hilarious. I didn't think he had it in him because everything that I'd seen him in, no matter what character he was playing, he was always the pretty boy. He was always like refined isn't the right term, but like even in 10 Things I Hate About You where he was supposed to play like the bad boy, he was still like too charming, I would say, right? To pull off what the Joker was.
What about Enemy at the Gates?
Who was he in Enemy at the Gates?
I think he played
I
Rossetti
thought
Zaitsev.
no, I thought that was the guy who played not Qui-Gon Jinn, uh cuz it was yeah, no, I thought it was the guy who played Ben Kenobi. I'm blanking on him now in the
Hold on,
prequels.
let me just pull up Enemy at the Gates.
Yeah, for sure, cuz it's been a while since I saw that movie. That is a fan fucking tastic movie as well.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Um yeah, I don't think it was Heath Ledger.
Uh, Jude Law played Rossetti.
Yeah, I remember Jude Law for sure. And then Rachel Weisz was in it as well. Who, yeah, I don't know if Heath Ledger was in that.
I guess when he was.
Yeah. So, anyways, I made the call where I was like, I don't think he can do it. I naysayed this shit out of him. And when I saw, was it the Dark Knight Returns? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Or
Dark Knight. Dark Knight.
is it Returns or Rises?
No, it's Batman Returns and then the Dark Knight, and then the
Okay.
Dark Knight Rises.
So the Dark Knight was actually like Heath Ledger's performance that blew me the fuck away. I was not expecting that. To this
Yeah,
day.
I really liked him.
Yeah. Oh, I love like A Knight's Tale. I think it's hilarious. I watch it all the time. Um and yeah, and I didn't hate the movie that he never got a chance to finish before it passed, the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, I think is what it was called.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think I've watched that one.
But it's the one where it's him, and then I think Colin Farrell fills in parts of the show that Heath Ledger couldn't finish because he passed. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, no,
Yeah.
He's not an enemy at the gates, right?
No, he's not. I don't see him on here.
Is
Maybe it was my error. I could have sworn it said that on the fucking.
is Ewan McGregor in it? Is that who you
No,
thought?
no. I could have sworn I remember seeing the cover and it saying Heath Ledger on it.
Okay, I don't know.
Because he's not on here. My mistake. I thought he was in it.
Yeah, but anyways, so I just didn't know. That's why now I give people the benefit of the doubt. The very long story. I give folks the benefit of the doubt, and I think, all right, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna be wrong here. And you know, I said the same thing about the Little Joker, and I wasn't wrong. I made that call. I did not think that was gonna be good casting call. Yeah, we'll see what Batman's like, dude.
I mean, I'm into it. I like Batman enough. I don't know, kind of over. Um, oh, he's in the Brothers Grimm. Um,
Yeah.
I'm kind of just over superhero movies though. Like, I'm not super big into them.
You're just done.
Yeah, I think I'm just kind of over it. I was never like a super big comic booky guy anyway. Like,
Yeah.
I never was like into superheroes before this.
I was never really into the main two. I was always into more the Image, like the Spawn and all that.
Yeah, well, I never had money for comics, so
Okay.
that was part of the problem.
You want to know the secret? Hang
What?
out at the garbage can behind the comic shop. Dude, they throw shit away all the time.
Really?
Yeah, when I was a poor kid, like I had a huge trading card collection of trading cards that like were probably worth fucking nothing. Right? But I got them, and then a bunch of comics. My comic collection was built from like when I was a kid of just like my first comic that I collected was ROM Space Knight because you can get them for like 10 cents an issue
Yeah.
in back rooms and shit like that. Like I was not a rich feller. So that's where it was, and a lot of the comics is the kids across the street were pretty well off. Well, their parents were well off. One of them, his father was actually a minister, and I believe he was adopted, so he was super spoiled. Um, and like, dude, he's grown up and he's a chill dude now. Like, whatever. We hung out all the time, but he was that kid, the kid that had everything. He had a computer, he had an N64, he had a PlayStation, he had a shit ton of Legos, he had all the goddamn Power Ranger toys that I envied, and just he had everything. He even had like a he was into wrestling, so he had a wrestling ring in his fucking like garage, dude. So we'd like go in there. It was a small wrestling ring, and we just like WWF it because that was what it was back then. In my day, but anyways, so he had comics. I'd read his comics. I read my buddy's comics, and eventually, you know, I had a job, and I started being able to have a little extra money for myself, and started buying comics that way. It was never a priority. I never had a lot, but that's why I'm such a fucking collector now. Because I feel like I'm trying to fill the void that my childhood has left.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know if comics will ever be that big on me. I do like digital form comics though, and I do like the kind of thicker ones that like, you know, they're like compendiums or whatever. Like I like those. Like I like graphic novels, I guess. I have collected some of those and have enjoyed some of those, but I've just never really been one to dump money into that. I'd rather dump money into like video games or like other stuff.
Yeah. Um. So video games were tough. Because again, I'd go to friends' house to play them. I could never really have my own unless I paid for it. That's why I was always a couple generations back. I had the original Nintendo NES, but I had that around the time the original Sega came out, and then I got a Sega It was like version 3 by that point of the Sega, and then played the crap out of that. I never had a Super Nintendo, but whatever, dude. I can't really complain. Like I got to play video games at friends' houses, and people were always pretty chill about that.
Yeah, I mean, I mostly was able to keep current somehow, but at the same time, like I always had friends that had them, and so I'd buy games for them.
Okay, fair enough.
And that was like our trade. Like I'd buy a co-op game or something, we'd play that.
You're you're a lot younger than me, right? So that means that by the time you came out, the co-op thing was a lot easier to do.
I don't know if I'm a lot younger than you. I'm gonna be 30 and on the 12th.
Okay, so you're like 3, 4 years younger than me then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not that much. So
No.
how would you
I grew
guys
up as a
do?
Sega kid.
How would you do multiplayer, like on the Sega specifically? I know the N64 was super good for party games, but like on the
In
Sega,
64
what
or
would you
the
play?
the Sega was mostly Kid Chameleon or like Tiny Toon Adventures or
Yeah, but that's
something
not
like
a
that. 'Cause
multiplayer game, right?
yeah, it is. You can have co-op in it.
Huh.
You have two people jump around.
Oh, was it like the Sonic games where the second player wasn't really a player?
No, they kind of were, but then at the same time, it was also two players as like one would go and then the other one would go, like old school Mario.
Oh, okay, okay. You'd be taking turns.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be more like
No, I had a Sega growing up with like almost every Sega game, at least all the good ones,
Oh, that's cool.
and then I had N64, and like that was like the last time my parents were actually like well off because after that we took a supreme dip into being poor.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Just for fun, just dip your toes
yeah,
in.
yeah, just to tip our toes. No, no, my dad went bankrupt.
It happens,
Actually, I
man.
had a PS2 then as well.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, because it was right before that we got the PS2. And I was never allowed to play it. Like my dad would be like, "No, just wait till I get home," and then he would play it. And so I started just like turning it on and playing it.
Yeah. Would you get in trouble?
No, because I would be off the game by the time I came back because I figured out how to do because we had two memory cards. So I'd take his
Oh.
memory card out, put mine in, and then I would do vice versa. And like he never really thought about it because he would be a dummy and put it in hibernation mode. So eventually the first one burned out.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But by that point it became cheaper, so we just bought a second one.
That's cool.
Um, and then I worked for my first gaming console when I was like 12, and I worked up the cash and got a original Xbox. And then I would also work and get games and stuff like that.
Xbox is another one of the ones that I skipped. Like I never had a GameCube. I have one now. I never had an original Xbox. Yeah, so I skipped a bunch in between.
I had the GameCube. And then I had my first PS3 was the best PS3. And so I got a PS3 that way, and that's the only way I was able to stay current. And matter of fact, I got it for such a great price of just this stupid bet that was like not worth anything.
Huh.
That when it finally went out, I wasn't even mad. I was like, I got so much use out of you.
You were like, oh, that was a good run. Good run.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's cool. That's cool. All right, man. Actually, we're right up at the hour here.
It's about
We
yeah.
didn't need fucking bonsai. Whatever. The only other thing that you wanted to mention was you have you started fucking around with the new iPhone.
Oh yeah, my work finally gave me my vendor product of the new iPhone 11 Pro.
Nice. How
So I
many
have
cameras does
the
this son bitch have? Three. Look at them
three.
cameras.
three cameras, just like any Android device. I think at this point. Um, I have to say, I actually like it.
Oh, that's cool. Why? What do you like?
I really like the. I don't know. So with Android, with it being so varied with different models, having a kind of standardized model is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know where everything is from, like just working, being at work, and working with these phones.
Yeah.
Um, I like the camera quality of it. I like the camera software of it. I like the fact that I can just airdrop things to my iPad and like just have this like ecosystem that's working really well. I will say I do not like Apple as a company. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
But this device you seem to enjoy.
I do enjoy this device. There are some minor hiccups, like with my last Android phone, I could use Spotify as like alarm ringtones.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could find a song on Spotify that I liked and put it as like an alarm. This one I can't seem to do that. At
Okay,
least
that's weird because on
maybe
mine you can.
maybe I haven't figured it out, but it's still something that I'm figuring out. I do like that Siri works really well. Um, I feel that it does work better than my Google ever did, especially because from right out of the box, I could tell it to text people and it would do it or read the reply for me. Whereas I never really got that to work with Google, like at all. Um, Other than that, the screen size is decent. It's still a little bit smaller than my last phone. Um, so it's just one of those things that like I've had to get used to. But the resolution's really nice. Displays everything nice. I like the Face ID of it. I like how I can just kind of look at it and it unlocks.
Yeah.
Um, the like actual flash on it that you can use as a flashlight is really nice. It doesn't like skimp on that. Um, and so like I don't know. I'm just enjoying it. I probably would want to stay in the Apple system just because I'm getting used to like having that ecosystem and I can do a lot of video editing and stuff mobile. And that's kind of what I like about it.
Yeah,
It fits my needs that way.
that's kind of what's kept me with them, honestly, because I don't particularly like their business model or everything, but like all my stuff's on there.
Yeah.
And like I like that I know how to do things and everything's the same. I hate how even the Samsung's year over year, like because it's Android, like shit's all different and the apps are all different. I kind of like the same. I can use my iPad, I can use my iPhone or whatever. I don't have any Apple computers for personal use. Like I have one for work, because fucking 80%, 90% of our user base is Mac, so I have to support them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just at home computer wise it's Windows all the way, but like my mobile devices are all Apple, and I think it's fine. Some people
Yeah, and
hate on it, but whatever.
but that's what I like is I like their mobile products. I feel that their computers are very underpowered for the price tag that they have. As a matter of fact, I feel that their phones are kind of overpriced. However, with this
For
last
sure
generation,
overpriced.
but at the same time, with the new iPhone 11, not Pro, just the regular, that's only like 700, it just rivals the other phones. Like
You gonna give me a
like
good deal?
no, because Samsung is just as expensive. Like there's no difference in the two as far as price. So I could see that. I just think that their computers are not up to par, and maybe once they start doing up to par, it would be different, right? Or being able to rival that kind of like Windows gaming market, maybe,
Yeah.
right? And they already have like the arcade, and the arcade is okay. Like
Well,
it
it's
has
not
some
even that-
interesting
the-
games.
The OS itself, because it's such a close ecosystem, I hear it's really hard to develop for it.
I can see that. I can see why that's the thing.
And every new release, they change something. And I'm just talking about like on a computer management side of things. I can only imagine with games, but on computer management, every new rollout usually breaks something. Breaks some enterprise thing that we were using, and the computers are not great.
Yeah, but that's like that with any of the like look at Windows. Every time a new update comes out with Windows, it breaks itself.
But not the enterprise management stuff.
I guess that's true, but at the same time, because most of their stuff is like weirdly cloud based that you download from,
Yeah,
it seems to work really well with their ecosystem, and that's honestly what I like about Apple is their ecosystem.
yeah. The problem with the closed off garden though is that they get a chunk of everything, and unfortunately, they get to decide what gets posted and what doesn't, which is their right. It's just I don't really like that business model. I'm still waiting for Borderlands to come out on Steam, and
Me too.
you
Me
know.
too.
Also, I want Control to come out on Steam. God damn it! I'm really bummed out about that. That's the game that is SCP Foundation like.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, on the PC, it is Epic exclusive for now.
Okay.
And I think
All right.
August is when it comes out. So
I think Zombie Army 4 came out and it's Epic, and I actually might buy it.
it's
my
Epic
birthday.
exclusive. Then I'm just out.
I don't know. I have to figure it out, but I might buy it for my birthday.
Yeah, just out. I don't support the Epic Store. If it
I keep giving the free games they give me though.
if it keeps like if it comes out on Steam, I'll get it, and I want to support the developers, but I just fuck off with your.
This is rebellion. This is rebellion to the developers. They only make one kind of game, and it's Sniper.
No, Rebellion. They also did Quantum Break, and they did a couple other things.
Yeah, but when was the last time they stopped pushing anything with the Sniper series?
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember Rebellion also did the fucking what was it? The Warriors game for Xbox One.
Oh, wait, the Warriors?
Yeah, Warriors come out to play.
Yeah. I thought that's what you meant. That's weird. All right. Well, on that note, check us out on Tuesdays at Metagame Network. Sorry, twitch.tv/Metagame Network. We are live Monday nights, 7 to usually 8 Pacific on YouTube in 5D podcast. And we have Bias Bros that comes out every other Thursday. That is where Bonsai, our host who isn't here today, and his brother Jay are actually talk more in depth about movies, more specifically about movies. But yeah, Klops, do you have anything you want to final words here?
Well, I'm still working on the mini cast. It needs to be up. We're going to figure all that stuff out. I'm also trying to get more stuff out there. So we'll see where that's going. I also stream on my personal channel Tuesdays and Thursdays, but way later than the actual stream on Metagame. So it's not actually infringing on that because I like these guys. But you can come by and hang out too if you want. If you want more Klops and shenanigans, that's fine. Otherwise, I'll be here every Monday almost, unless I'm not here. In case, then fuck you.
All right. On that note, bye.
Bye.